Hi everyone. Can you hear me okay in the back? My friend Letty's here. Hi Letty. Um hello, hello. I think about death every day. Um in a real fun Mexican way though. But Better Ancestors was such a beautiful way I think to like alchemize that feeling into more goodness. So thank you for the verbiage. Um Let me pull up my stuff. So I wrote and revisited one of these pieces for Better Ancestors specifically. And I was thinking about like our community members and members of our extended community, um, thinking especially about y'all loving LA and thinking about the people like that make the backdrop of our lives. This one is very specific, I think, to like a few of us in the room. But if it doesn't relate, I want you to think about someone who maybe fades into the back, but without them, the like churning of your community wouldn't happen. Um, so this is an ode to the elotero man. After years of absence, I still hear your phantom horn. Hope you'll be at every party. Know that no community is complete without you. You, centerpiece to mothers comparing their children's report cards or whisper networks suppositions. You, the fountain for youth, make a friend de vida with $1.25. You, the gauntlet for us to prove our patria by how much of your Chile we can endure. You, absence be compass, be morning star for when I have gone too far from home. You, keeper of elote, nurture eldest sister vitality, hierophant of peeling back silky layers. You, magician of gastronomy, santo of all golosas and guzgueras. You, hood engineer who rigged bike to Gatorade jug. You, the real deal, untouched by any conglomerate shelling out fugazi ass street corn. You, a humble date for budding love and carrying the word esquite into the future. You, who wake before the sun and steward panela and mayonesa into sacred matrimony. You, who have been the target of the same street nights you keep company. You, the ghost maintaining a foreign economy. Because of all of this and more, we ride for you. And so when you ask, con todo, mija, I'll answer, sí, con todo, don. Cool. Thank you. This next poem is about like fear and bravery and being a teenage 26-year-old girl. Um, I found bravery when I took a job I wasn't sure I was ready for and invested fake money toward a hazy future when I dreamt of rest. And I dreamt that I hurt no one in order to get that rest. I dreamt the years left with my mom extended eons, but the courage cost me. Sinking friendships, going broke from betting on myself, standing to the bull in moontime red, and shedding skin and rolls that had become cavity. I couldn't help the bravery, for love demanded it from me. I kept finding myself on the other side of romance and apologizing to power. I had not forgotten my fear, that of any woman in any place at any time. The fear of non-commitment teetered across the fear of commitment, tipped over by the dread of making amends. Had not stopped imagining the absence in the landscape in the shape of my parents. I retained the veil that separates my fear from my joy. The thick flesh of my reluctance to change, to leap only armed with faith. The opaque lace of my emotional towers that dutifully protected me from other people's perception. But I could no longer allow a definitive obsessed me, a black or white me, the fickle night or the stubborn daylight to label my experience. Though what I had sown into soil was feelings of lacking and unstable sediment, And though I had neglected my own garden by feeding it my dad's quick fire, my mom's brave and taunting air, though I've let the fear into my shoulders and through this invitation it filled everywhere, a greedy guest who'd relegated me to the small cave in front and most urgent part of my brain, while it spread its merry misery into every room and corridor and called it theirs, even my poetry. And though I had been fortune teller, writing blank checks for the future, it was time for my fear to retire and jubilate, cradled into a better garden and a deep love, a tether with spirit worlds in order to find my own, solve for scar tissue and depth of feeling, of knowing, wondering, curiosity, and play with all the faces of life when you're willing to grow and greet it. Slay. Okay, I have one more piece. I am a Venusian queen. I'm a Taurus, Libra rising, Aries, stellium. So I create problems on purpose for fun. But I'll leave you with some Taurus sentiments. I think I believe in God. I think I believe in a really lazy God. And I think that he would want us all to be a little bit lazier. So short and sweet. Um, God told us to live simply, but we did not understand their language, and thus made a mess and mockery of their poetry. But heaven is knowing better, accepting there is no God that would begrudge me the sweetness of life. After all, sweat slicked and laid on hammock was made in their image. Leisure a birthright, ideation a necessity, and boredom a capital fallacy. Idle hands were made to hold you, not the ambitions or blood of others. Lust and gluttony are cousin synonyms to life. To be alive is to follow pleasure, to chase it even when it calls itself disappointment, to crave heartbreak for the story and the lessons, to create its music, to get closer to a poetry God would understand and recite back to us. Thank you.